Good morning, friends. This is Bobby Shanks with Shanks Realty Group, and this is another episode of Kitchen Talk. So today I have a really good friend of mine, personally and professionally. I've never said this to you before, but you're kind of my Yoda in many ways because everybody has to have somebody to aspire to. And there are things in my life that I'm super happy with where I'm at. I'm very content. I'm progressing. I'm at a high level of achievement. I'm operating at a high level. There are some other parts of my career where I'm not, and those are some parts where you are. And so I really look up to you for that. This is my very good friend, Mike Zouglis with the Express team, also with Keller Williams. And today I brought you on here.
Yep.
As everybody knows, there's no rehearsal here, but Mike is at least what I would call, pretty much a badass when it comes to real estate investment.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome, Mike. So, the purpose of this is I want to tell people that it's okay to get started, right? Every race starts with the first step.
First step.
So, if I'm mom and pop, or I'm 20 years old, or I'm 50 years old, or any age, male or female, whatever, what do I do to get started? What do I have to have?
You're always shopping. Mm-hmm. You're always shopping. You
Shopping
may not
for
be
homes.
ready to start and pull the trigger, but you're always shopping because you're learning. You have to get the data, right? You can't make very good decisions without the data. So you're learning, you're saving, right? You're trying to figure out how to get
That's the
that
hard
nest
part.
egg, right? It doesn't take much.
Okay, so how much does it take? If I want to buy, let's do round numbers to keep it super simple. If I want to buy a $100,000 house, and I'm going to rent it out, or I'm going to flip it, or whatever. Let's talk about buy and hold.
Okay, buy and hold.
How much do I need to buy that house?
I would say 20%.
So 20 grand.
Right.
And I can take my
Now,
20 grand.
20% can be had with cash out of your pocket, or it could be finding the $150,000 house that you can pay $120,000 for. There's two different ways to get that 20% down, right?
Okay, noted. Right.
Yes. For me personally, I want to buy real estate where I have a really good equity position and a little bit of cash flow.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, I need to service the debt, whatever the debt is, but I want to have a lot of equity because
Okay.
I'm going to build wealth.
So by service the debt, let me make sure that I understand that. What you mean is if my monthly mortgage is $100, I need to collect $150 in rent.
Right.
So I'm servicing the mortgage, the debt.
Yep.
And then I've got a positive cash flow of $50. Now, out of that $50, if I was going to throw up a pie graph here, what should be done with that $50?
It should always get reinvested back into your company, back into your investment portfolio.
Okay.
So if you have debt to pay down that's in there, pay it down. If you don't have any debt to pay down, continue to build the next nest egg for the next property.
Okay.
And this is how your wealth starts to swell.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it?
2002 is when I bought my first one.
And I know investors, here's the thing, people who make a lot of money like to talk about how much money they make.
Yeah.
People that own a lot of real estate are like, oh, it's a couple places. It's not a big deal. It's not
Right.
Right. They're super conservative. They're usually quiet. So I'm not going to ask you how many investment properties you have, because I would say it's safe to say it's several.
I have several.
Several. But in the 2002, so 18 years,
Yeah.
how many properties would you say you have bought and sold?
Oh, thousands. Thousands.
That's my point.
Yeah, thousands. Well, the thing is, when you do this for a living, right?
How many times have you bought and sold real estate? Oh, just a couple thousand.
It's got to be thousands. I mean, because there's been
yeah.
big packages of homes. I mean,
Right.
When you're building your own investment portfolio, though, you start to figure out yourself. You are a moving target too, because you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
So I figured out over the years of maybe I don't want to buy this kind of house. Maybe I don't want to buy this particular school district.
Yeah.
Maybe I have a problem with this kind of tenant that I seem to get in this kind of property.
Dude, that was a huge nugget. you're a moving target.
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
Until
But you
you
don't
figure
know
out.
until you know, right?
Yeah. I hope everybody's watching that.
If you do it right,
Yeah.
you make these mistakes. I call them mistakes. I make mistakes every day buying
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
You may have made a mistake being here today.
But the mistake often leads to A, learning, B, data, and then C, a paycheck. You can make a mistake while making a paycheck, right? So a
True that.
paycheck, maybe you're not building your wealth, but it's nice to sell a problem, a mistake, and bring in 5, 10, 20, 50 grand,
Yeah.
right? Because if you do your due diligence, you buy something right, and decide this one's not for me. I don't want to put this in my portfolio. I don't want to own this forever. I don't want to leave this to my kids. I've learned this one's a problem. Peel it off.
Yeah.
Make a paycheck, reinvest it.
So next question. So I'm a professional, right? I work for the union. I work at Ameren. I'm a carpenter. I'm a school teacher. Right? I'm average Joe.
Yeah.
Average Joe, average Jane. You know, single guy, single girl, married couple, whatever, right? Because I'm covering all these bases, right? Because of all the sensitivity out there. Look, I'm somebody who wants to buy some real estate. I got money. I want to go and do this. Other than calling a realtor, and we're both realtors, so we want everybody to call us because we can help. We're really good at this.
You should. You have to have like a board of advisors. Your real estate
good
guy
point.
should be in there. Your insurance guy or gal should be in there. Your
banker.
mortgage guy or gal, right? Your banker. There's a difference. You know, we love Donna Mitchell.
Absolutely.
Donna Mitchell is different than your community banker. And when you're going to play real estate investor, you've got to know what the difference is between those two parties and how to utilize them to your advantage to build your wealth.
Yeah. So it's just an advisory panel, so that I'm limiting my mistakes.
That's right.
So if I make a promise to me to be the best version of me, to be the best professional investor that I can be, I'm going to have a Zouglas, a Mitchell, and all of those people on an advisory panel. Am I going to go to them and say, here's a property, I have 2 hours to make a decision, do you authorize me to do this?
That's a tighter circle.
Okay, that's tight.
Right? That's where you call Rob. That's where you call Mike. That's where you call your real estate.
And I do. I
your
do
real
call
estate
Mike.
guy, right? I mean, I called
Every
Rob.
week,
I
every
just
week.
called you about an old farmhouse I wanted
Yep,
to buy,
yep,
and I had
yep.
needed to put myself in check over it.
Yeah. I need to be better at that. I really do. I'm such a lone wolf.
I got to bounce things off people,
I'm not a.
and the more mistakes you make, the more you want to bounce things off people, which is maybe why
So I
I
haven't made
bounce them off you
I haven't
more
made
than you
enough
bounce them
mistakes
off.
yet.
Right. And if you're not
Congratulations, I haven't screwed up enough yet.
well, if you're not making
coming.
mistakes, you're not playing either.
True that.
Right.
Yeah. I am not.
And not that it's a game. I mean, this is not Monopoly money. This is real money. These are our real lives. We're really trying
But
to
you gotta
build
have
wealth.
fun at it. Too.
It's fun, man. It is fun.
I have flipped property since 2007. I'm actually doing some new construction now. I did have some buy and hold there for a short period of time, and just made some financial adjustments in my life and sold them. And I want to get back to buying and holding. You know, basically it's retirement.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about retirement money.
Yeah.
Passive income.
That's
too.
what it is. It's passive income. It's building wealth, right? I mean, it's an asset. The amount of equity that you have, right? We talked about buying the 150 house for 120. Day one, maybe I have 30 grand in equity. Over 10, 15 years, I have a tenant in there, cash flowing or not, paying off this asset, and the equity is just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take many. You just always have to be in the game
That's
and
gotta be
always
so
playing.
fun to watch. Okay, listen, man. Here's how I picture you. I'm saying this jokingly, but I'm kind of, there's an air of seriousness. Like I picture you having like an office chair with like 3 or 4 computer monitors and just kind of laying back and going, oh, I think I'll move that one. Like the Monopoly guy. Like, oh, I think I'll move this one today and this one, you know, they're building something over here, so now's a good time for that. And then you spend 2 hours a day looking at property, and then you go home and swim with your kids in the pool.
Okay, that's kind of a normal day. That's kind of a normal day.
High five.
right? I mean, you're a spreadsheet
I want
guy.
that
I know
life.
that. We connect on spreadsheets, right?
We do, yeah.
I'm a spreadsheet. My whole portfolio, my whole life is managed on a spreadsheet. You know, when I look at my rent roll, it's not one tab, it's like 9 tabs.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm managing all kinds of different data, and then I'm color coding them. My personal portfolio is managed in groups. So I package 2 or 3 properties together, color code that particular group, monitor it for performance, and restructure those little baby groups inside the portfolio as needed. And if there's something that constantly is sticking out, or that hair that just won't lay down right, we cut that off. We cut that one off and start over.
You got one, by the way.
Yeah, I gotta have one up there somewhere.
So here's something that I have said to in like my coaching classes for years, and when I say it to you, I know you'll get it. I don't make decisions. I have spreadsheets that make decisions. And if you're going to be a savvy, even a part-time investor, right? You're just going to buy one house a year, right, for you and your family. Or
That's
something.
really good. You're going to be really wealthy if you buy one house a year. You're going to be really wealthy if you buy
think
one
about that.
house a year.
Forget about even in your 20s. Let's say you're 40. You buy a house at 40. At 50, you got 10. At 60, you got 20. And mortgages are getting paid off. You're no longer you're not putting up any of your own money anymore. At that
You know,
point.
you'd be amazed if you were 40 years old and you bought one house every 5 years, right? So between 40 and 60, you bought
So you got 4 houses.
4 houses, and you just bought
That could be $1 million.
the
in real estate.
subdivision ranch home near where you live. You're going to have $10,000 a month in passive income when you're done. You know, you're going to watch $1 million of real estate appreciate at an average of 3.2% a year.
If you're, and I'm going to pick professions because it's people I know close to me, my family. If you're a nurse practitioner, firefighter, EMT, policeman, school teacher, even just another small business owner.
Oh God, let's touch on that, right? Because if you have all these
$10,000 a month in
if you have
passive
all these
income?
friends that are firefighters, EMTs, school teachers,
Yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
you need to call your trusted board of advisors
Yeah.
because there are tricks for you and if you're in a particular trade.
Yeah, there are.
Okay, there are entities out there that want to sell real estate to you.
There are, and you know what? Is it Midwest Banking? They do a no closing costs loan, and it may just be for primary residents. I don't know, but they'll do a no closing costs loan for policemen, firemen, EMTs, and medical.
I think you're right. I know that HUD for sure. You know, we sell foreclosures, right? So we sell a ton of HUD properties. There's a good neighbor next door program. If
Okay,
you
so what's
are
the good
if
neighbor
you
next
are
door?
any of those first responders, police officers, firefighters, EMTs, I also believe there is a teacher or professor category. You can buy HUD homes for 50% off.
So, give me the pie graph on residential, commercial, and inside of commercial, strip versus industrial versus light.
Okay.
Versus, yeah.
I'm glad you asked. I have I only have 2 commercial properties, and they're small stuff, mom and pop type of commercial properties.
Okay.
I'm all the way down to 2 multifamily properties. The entire rest of the portfolio, so I'm going to say 98% of the portfolio is single families.
Single family residential.
Thought process behind this is people care more about homes than they do apartments. Single family homes stay vacant a shorter period of time, much shorter period of time than commercial. And when I'm done with that property and I decide to liquidate it, I decide to cash out of that particular house, I get to sell it to Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, not you, the real estate investor,
Right.
right? Because you're going to beat me up pretty bad. For you, it's a numbers game, right?
That's what I do, man.
Yeah, you're going to beat me up.
Right.
It's another door for your portfolio or one of your clients' portfolios. But if I get to sell to, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, people are falling in love with the kitchen. They're falling in love with the backyard.
Dude, this is awesome.
I love it.
Thanks for coming in. I
My
appreciate it,
pleasure.
brother.
Thanks for having me.
All right, there you heard it from the master of investment real estate, the pastor of disaster, the Hulk, the destroyer, Mike Zouglis with Express Team.